Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is April 12th, 2026. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. If you guys are scrolling through the Facebook world and you're catching me live, please stop by and say hello. If you don't say hi, I don't know that you're here. And if you're watching the replay later on, just comment replay in the comments. That way I know that you stopped by and you watched. Let me make sure technology-wise that I'm going live in the right place, that I'm turned the right direction, and that you guys can hear me. Yes, yes, and yes. Everything looks good. It looks like we're straight. Okay. So this is a twofer. Are you guys excited? 2 Facebook Lives in one weekend? It's crazy, huh? All right. We're going to make this a beautiful all occasion card. You can use it for multiple occasions. You could use it as a wedding card. You could use it as a happy birthday card, a sympathy card, a thinking of you card. So this card is really all about the paper. I wanted to show off the lovely and beautiful paper. It was out of stock for quite some time, and now it's back in stock. So we're going to use it. I love this pack of paper. I didn't buy any of the dies or the stamps that went with it because I had similar items in my stash already. So I didn't feel the need to rebuy. Shop your stash. Make what you have work. You can do that. It's okay. I give you full permission. So I'm going to put this to the side. Let's see if I can keep it on camera. I'm zoomed out a little bit more than what I usually am, so maybe that'll give us some more workspace. Just some housekeeping stuff I talk about every Facebook Live. Stampin' Up! Offers 3 levels of creativity. We have something for everyone. We have our kits for our beginners, which are step-by-step instruction kits. They can be found at StampinUp.com. They come out with 2 at least, sometimes 3 every month. So these are constantly revolving and updating, and so it's kind of hard to keep track of what's available, what's not. But these are our card kits. We also offer scrapbooking kits. These are our scrapbook workshop. They make 6 pages, 3 2-page layouts. They come with everything that you need except for the adhesive. These come with your adhesive and everything. So your ink, your punch outs, all of it. So you can literally take this box, go camping, go to a sporting event, watch your kid at practice, and put these cards together. You don't need anything else. Everything that you need is in this box. We also have a monthly subscription kit. These are kind of a surprise. We get little sneak peeks, but Stampin' Up! Wants us to be surprised every month. It's kind of like Christmas coming to your door. So the sneak peeks that we have for the next few months, this is the one that you have to subscribe between April 11th and May 10th. It's called Sparkling Celebrations. I'm loving this bay window die cut. I'm loving the ombre effect in the night sky. I think it's going to be really pretty. And the next one for May 11th through June 10th is called Bikes and Blooms. We've got some silver butterfly embellishments. We used to have some gold ones that I love. I still use them. I ordered a whole bunch of them. There, sorry, I was off screen. But they're flat. They're really thin, so they're nice to mail. We got some florals, a little have a lovely day sentiment that's going to be in there. It looks like some bike images. That should be fun. And then here are some coordinating dies. This is the month of May, June, April. This is a great little sign that you could use on any cards, but it does go with the Waterside Retreat that you had to subscribe by last Friday the 10th. This item number is 168665. It's for $13. But this is a great group of dies. You could use these fireworks. Again, I'm off screen, sorry. Punch out 2 or 3 on the top of a card. Put some blue glitter paper, some red glitter paper, some gold glitter paper in the background, and those fireworks are really going to pop and shine through. So I think that's really cool. Some butterflies, some flowers. You can never go wrong in the word wonderful. So I think the paper pumpkin kits are going to be great over the next few months. I'm really excited to get the one this week, the Waterside Retreat. So if you ever have any questions about the paper pumpkin or any of our kits, please let me know. So those are our step-by-step instructions. Great for beginners. We also have a quick and easy option mix and match section in our catalog. Our catalog is split up into these different levels, so they are very easy to find. But everything that's in the mix and match is designed to coordinate and work well together, and you can make a ton of cards in a matter of minutes. I did a Facebook Live just a few weeks ago on the mix and match section of the catalog. So go back and check that out if you missed it. Beautiful cards. And then of course level 3, creativity your own way. Anything goes. Your avid paper crafter. That's most of our catalog. Did you know that we offer more than just crafting supplies? We do. We have classes, virtual retreats, scrapbooking, and card. So they usually have one going on at all times. The current one is a scrapbook album retreat. You make, I believe, 10 2-page layouts, so 20 pages. It is $250, but you have to think about everything that is paying for. It is paying not only for all your materials, but it's paying for 21 hours of instruction time. It is for 3 days, April 29th through May 1st, from 2 to 9. You get a private Facebook group. If you can't actually do it live, then you can come back. You have access to that for the future, for as long as you want. So, yeah, this is item number 168051. So, our product of the month, every month, Stampin' Up! Comes out with a new product. Sometimes it's a die, sometimes it's stamps, sometimes it's paper. This month it is a beautiful Eyelet Blossoms die. It is huge. I thought I had printed it off and to have a picture to show you, and I can't find it, so I apologize. But I have not turned in my April order yet because we just got to order the new catalog stuff for May like a week ago. So I turned in a very late March order. Anyway, the die is beautiful. So if you're spending $75 on an order, you can get this one item for $5. It's a $15 savings at least. It's beautiful. So if you're putting in an order of $75 or more, make sure you add that product of the month for $5. So, because we are getting a new catalog May 5th, a lot of our stuff went to the last chance list. This is the Stampin' Up! Discounted list. So make sure you're going to StampinUp.com to check it out. You don't want to miss out on any of those must-have items. I know there were a few items that were on my list at the beginning of last year when the catalog came out that I still have not gotten because, you know, all of us live on a budget. So you can only do what you can do. You can't live outside your means. So if some of those items went to the last chance list, make sure you're picking those up, because once they hit that list, they've been discounted and they fly off the shelves. And once they're gone, they're gone. They're not coming back. So unless you're going to eBay or Facebook Marketplace, sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't. And normally they are more than what they were in the catalog. So you're going to pay a higher price because it's a retired item that's hard to get. So make sure you're going to StampiN'Up.com to see all the latest and greatest stuff. You don't want to miss out. That's also where you're going to find our online exclusives. There was a lot of online exclusives that came out in March. A lot of new stuff, fun stuff. And then here's a sneak peek of what's coming out in May. If you love Winnie the Pooh, this one's for you. It's what I'm going to call a mega suite. It has 2 stamp sets, 2 dies, paper, embellishments. So one of the stamps and dies stamp the characters and cut out the characters. Now the designer series paper, the dies will also cut out the characters off of the paper. So very cute. Does come with an embossing folder of the 100 Wooded Acre. And then the other stamp set and die set has some sayings and some really cool label dies. So check it out if you're a Winnie the Pooh lover. Now you can only get this if you're in the United States. And that was a copyright thing. So if you're across seas, I'm sorry, no Winnie the Pooh for you. Alright. So we've talked about pretty much everything other than this mini catalog ends at the end of April. Have a few weeks left. This annual catalog ends the end of April. And drum roll, please. This new catalog starts May 5th. So in the past, we've always had an annual catalog that goes from May to May, summer to summer basically, and 2 mini catalogs. They're going to change that up. They're going from that to 3 mini catalogs. And I think that's going to be really nice. I think it's going to keep things simple, that there's not 2 different catalogs going on it all the time. Online exclusives, kits, it's a little much. A lot of people have a hard time keeping up. So out with the old, in with the new. We'll have a catalog January to April, a catalog May to August, and a catalog September to December. So something for the spring, something for the summer, something for the fall. It'll be nice. And then again, every 2 months, they come out with new online exclusives. And in the off months, they come out with new items being added to the last chance list. So you're only going to be able to see all of that and keep up with that online at StampiN'Up.com. If you guys are local and you need a catalog, please let me know. I have plenty. They're $1.50 if you have not turned in an order with me in the last 6 months. But if you have turned in an order, or if you're in Card Club, these are free to you. So just reach out to me, let me know if you need one. Okay, I think I have done all the chatting. I think it's time to get to crafting. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. Okay, this does have a belly band to keep it closed, because it is kind of thick, but it opens up like that. It's a very fun fold. Let's talk about this paper. Again, lovely and beautiful designer series paper There are 12 sheets, 2 of each design, so there are 6 designs. They're double-sided, so you can look at that as 2 pieces of each or 1 of each if you like all the fronts and backs. It is a specialty paper, so it does have some foiling in it, some gold accents. My favorite piece of this is this beautiful piece right here. Let's talk about the colors in this pack of paper. This has Calypso Coral, Darling Duckling, Fresh Freesia, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Petal Pink, and Gold. I love these colors. I'm not normally a pastel person, but these colors play beautifully together. So here is the front. Here is the back, a very pretty petal pink on white floral. Page 2 is very pretty floral pattern, diamond kind of on a row. You could do it diagonally or up and down or side to side. Very pretty old olive foil or foliage, not foil, leaf pattern. Here's a very pretty soft petal pink, Fresh Freesia, Old Olive, some of that Daffodil Delight. The back of it is this whimsical, just little floral pattern. Not my favorite, but that's okay because now I have 2 pieces of this. If I loved this and this, then I would only have 1 piece of each. This is really kind of busy for me, so I would use it very sparingly. I have used it on a card or 2, and I'll show you a lot of cards at the end of this live. This is a beautiful gold foil on white floral. You could ink this, color it with Stampin' Up! Blends, with your blending brushes. So very pretty. Again, kind of busy, so I would use that sparingly, but I am loving the peach pie and the pretty in pink and or the petal pink and the Fresh Freesia together. Here's one. It's got more of the Calypso Coral in it, so it's more bright and vivid. I love that piece. The back of it is just a peach pie kind of square distressed grid. And then the last piece, I've used a lot of it. I've made several cards, and again, I'll show them to you all at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for beautiful cards and ideas. But this one was just a whole sheet of this floral piece with the gold. So you've got one that has the gold in the middle. You have one that has the gold in the little centers. You have one that, let me get it, has the gold in the centers. And then one that has the gold on the outline and in the centers. So a lot of them look a lot alike, but they are different and they are beautiful. So again, lovely and beautiful, and it's been out of stock for some time, but it's now back in. It's item number 166957. And I don't have a lot of it left. That's pretty much all that I have left is what I've shown you. I've got some, trying to put this back in the little thing. Give me a second. Oh, come on. Trying to stay organized while I do a video. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. I have some little bitty bits and pieces, but a lot of that second page I have used. So this paper will not go to waste, I guarantee it. Okay, let me grab all my little bits and bobs. So my base cardstock is Old Olive. You could use any of those colors. This is going to be 5.5 by 11. So let's cut this in half. So this is our 11-inch side. So 5.5. So here's our big piece. We are going to score this at 1 3/4. Five and a half. And 9 3/4. So again, that's 1 3/4, 5.5, and 9 3/4. So there's our main card base. This piece of scratch, we do want to make the belly band out of this. So we want a piece that is 1 inch wide by 10 inches long. So let me cut that belly band. It does almost use a whole sheet of 8.5 by 11, so you can't get 2 of these cards out of one piece, but that's okay. You are left over with this little piece right here and this little bitty piece right here. Okay, we're going to put the belly band off to the side. I'm going to grab my bone folder so that we can do some folding and burnishing. So this first fold right here that was at the 1 3/4, no, this is really the last one, the 9 3/4 fold, where you're going to fold over, and then your normal middle fold you're going to fold back like you would on a normal card. That would be your 5.5 fold line. And then this last one, which really was our first score, was the 1 3/4. We're going to fold it back on itself. And that gives you this right here. Kind of a pleated look. So again, burnish that down really, really well. So for the inside, it's going to be your normal 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to have your little saying or your writing that goes in the middle. I'm going to wait to put that down. You have 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 5 1/4. And one piece goes right here, and one piece goes right here. So let's adhere that down. Grab your favorite adhesive, whatever floats your boat. Usually you're either a wet glue or a tape runner. Trying to figure out if I think I'm gonna do, nope, I liked it better this way. Trying to figure out, it doesn't really have a direction to it. So again, whatever looks best to you. We're gonna try to center that, get the same amount of border all the way around. We're gonna do the same for this piece right here. put your adhesive on the back. The reason why I like a tape runner is if you mess up, which I do a lot, you can just take and rub your finger on this, whereas the wet glue is more of a mess. We're going to take this piece, put this piece right here, again centering it, trying to get an equal size border all the way around. Doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be perfect. It is handmade. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now we are needing a piece that is 1 by 5 1/4. This piece is going to go right here. And then, so when you turn that over and you fold this up, it's on the front of your card. Let me bring back in this card. I've moved it way off camera and you can't even see it. Okay. This is what we're making. This last piece is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. So you could, I'm just going to show you. We talked about this piece being in a small print or this piece being in a small print. If I were to use this piece right here, I think it would be just as beautiful. It plays very nicely together. In fact, I may do that instead of using this piece right here. However, this piece right here is very pretty. And you could do this, guys, with any of these pieces of paper. You could change this card base to the Petal Pink, the Calypso Coral, the Fresh Freesia. I mean, there are so many different options with this. I just thought the Fresh Freesia was really pretty. So what do you guys like? Do you guys like this, or do you like, I'm just gonna do one of each. How's that sound? I know, I can't believe I'm covering up this gold beautiful piece. Again, just lining it up to make sure that you've got the equal size border, and I did not. Let me pull that down a little bit. All the way around. There we go. And you guys, that is our card. As far as the actual like base part of the card. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's make this belly band. So I've used a couple of different things. I have pretty much everything pre-cut. So I have my little bow ready to go. So like I said at the beginning, I did not buy the stamp and the die set that went with this suite. I thought, oh my gosh, I have so many floral flowers. I don't need any more. So I shopped my stash and I pulled out a old, this is called Summer Shadows die. I believe this was a Celebration die set, so a freebie for probably $100 order if I had to guess. But Summer Shadow dies, it was item 156618. So do not forget to shop your stash. We spend a lot of money on these items, so use them. I've got a circle die cut out of the Spotlight on Nature dies. If you guys don't have these dies, they did not retire. They are still active, still current. This is a great set of dies. So I've used this one right here. So it is the middle size of the one that has the slots and the dots. And this is item 163580 if you need to know. I also pulled out the Pearls of Beauty, item 167098. I can't remember if these are retired or not. I don't think these were part of the suite. I think this went with something else, but it had crumb cake and calypso coral and white, and I just thought they went beautifully with this. I think better than what actually came with this, if I have to remember. So I've used those. Of course, on the ribbon, this is kind of my favorite go-to here lately. This is the mesh ribbon. It's 3/8 inches wide, and of course it's in gold striped. So gold striped mesh ribbon. It's item 165599. This did not retire. It's still current. So I've used this on the card, but if you didn't have this, you could definitely use this beautiful petal pink if you've got it in your stash. It is retired. You could also use a white. You could use, we've had some fresh freesia seam binding ribbon in the past. Lots of different things that you could use on it. But I'm going to go with what's current and use this gold striped ribbon. But again, do not forget to shop your stash. So I've already pre-cut these dies. Put these out on my table. And we're just going to put these together. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here because I am going to be using the wet glue, the green capped Tombow Mono Multi Liquid Glue. I've got it in a different bottle just to help me out. And actually, to be honest, if you have the, let me grab it, maybe we'll use this. This is current. So if you don't know about this adhesive, this is a great one. This is the fine tipped glue pen. It's item 138309. This has a little fine tip on here. Let's use this one because some of these are quite small and detailed. And I've already gotten too much. You have to be careful with this. It does come out a little fast. See if I can spread that around and not make a mess out of it. And this is clear, so I don't even know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. I am gonna use my tweezers. Let me grab them. And trying to see how this goes on. Like this. Once you put it down, you don't really want to move it around. So get it on there. See, I've got some glue kind of coming out. I've got too much on it. That's okay. I can bring in my little adhesive glue eraser and clean that up once it's dried. So I'm going to put that to the side and we'll clean it up here in a second. There is a top and a bottom to this. So the bottom is Petunia Pop. It is one of our retiring colors that just left. I'm so sad. I loved those colors. Who was a fan of that Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock and oh, not Petal Pink, what was it? Pretty in Pink. I loved those colors. So this is Petunia Pop on the bottom and Fresh Freesia on the top. Again, I just kind of want to set that down. I don't want to move it around too much. I didn't think that you guys wanted to sit here and watch me die cut all these pieces out. You guys know how to run it through the die cut machine. You see me do it all the time. I am not a liquid glue, wet glue type of person, you guys. I don't like it. I don't like to get sticky and gooey and ooey. Okay, so here are some leaves from that same die set. So I've taken the Granny Apple Green as the top and the Old Olive as the bottom, which I actually did this one in reverse. So when I was cutting these out, I didn't realize that until it was too late. So I thought, that's okay. I don't want to waste paper. I already had them cut. So we'll just see what we like better. That's what happens when you're in charge. When it's your card, you can make the rules. There's no wrong or right. It is whatever floats your boat. And if somebody says something, you just be like, you know, I meant to do it that way. I like it that way. Just 2 more leaves left. I know this is not the fun part of the card. It's kind of like watching paint dry. Let's watch the glue dry. One more. What is your favorite adhesive? I would love to know. Leave it in the comments below. What is your go-to? Okay, now the one thing about this fine tip is once you're done with it, you definitely want to put the cap back on it. So that little needle right there goes into this needle right here. Oh, I got glue coming out of the lid. Goodness gracious, that's a mess. Okay, let's try that again. It must have been a bottle that had gotten shaken or something. Okay, there we go. Sometimes that's kind of hard to put in there. See, I've got all this glue squeezing out of the lid. Again, have I said that I am not a fan of liquid glue? Hopefully that lid does not super glue itself onto itself. I may be getting the pliers out to reopen that. I wonder why it was so... That's crazy. Okay. So we're going to bring in our Spotlight of Nature die. That's going to be the founding stability part of this band. And all I've done is just kind of put the leaves in between the petals, in between the flowers. So I'm going to lay down my first leaf. I kind of put it up here. kind of hanging over. And then I'm going to take one of the smaller flowers. And you know what? I actually think I popped these up. Let me grab my dimensionals. Let's put 2 dimensionals on this. And I do want to get this next set of leaves ready so that I can kind of put it down at the same time that I'm putting my flower down so that I can get the spacing correct. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking there. And then let me come back around to this smaller flower because these are kind of on bottom. Oh, and again, a pop dot, Shauna. A dimensional, not tape runner. They are popped up. And let's put some tape runner on this guy. So again, just shop your stash. I mean, I had tons of floral stuff I did not need anymore. And we're gonna go probably about, I'm gonna say here. We're gonna put this one right here. And then we're gonna take this big Mama Jumbo. Flower, and we're gonna stick it kind of right. Actually, let me put that so I'm gonna bring in my eraser like we talked, get a little bit of that glue off that I can kind of see. It does dry clear, but you can kind of see that it's still a little wet. I'm going to take my embellishments, and you could use whatever embellishment you wanted. I'm just going to go with the crumb cake, and I'm going to take my take your pick tool. I'm going to put a little one right here in the center. We'll come back, we'll put them on our card here in a second. So I've got this part done. I do need to add my ribbon, my little bow. Let's see, do I want it? Trying to see where I want it. I do like it right there. So I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna put this out of the way. And then we are gonna come back and I'm gonna make one score on this belly band. I'm gonna score this belly band at 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches. Is making sure that that's what my, and I'll show you why. So do one score line. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around and I'm going to fold that back. Now we are going to put the other side, the side that does not come together, in the back because we want that to look nice. Then we're going to take this piece and instead of scoring it, we're just going to bend it. And we're not going to fold it over or bend it tight. we want to give it some wiggle room. And then just take your little bone folder and push that down. That way it can kind of move easily. You don't want it super, super tight. Now the best way to adhere this, to make sure that this belly band does not come apart, is by using some dimensionals. So put your, well, let me back up. Before we do the dimensionals, go ahead, put some adhesive down here on this bottom piece. Fold that over. And then you can take your dimensionals and put it right there on that seam. I'm going to stick 2 of them there. Again, that's just going to help it stay closed. And then I'm going to put 1 right here. And my Spotlight of Nature die is going to hide those dimensionals. So then we're just going to come back and we're going to pop this. Let's get this where we want it, in the center. Push that all down. And there you've got your beautiful card. And then you can stamp whatever or write whatever sentiment that you want inside there. If you wanted to, you could come back with your bone folder and make that one little fold, because we creased this one. We actually scored that. So if you want to make that a little bit more tight, where it looks like it was folded or scored, you can. No one's gonna know but you, because everybody's gonna get this card and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this card is so beautiful. Okay, we're almost done. Let's bring back in our little bling. Again, this was the Pearls of Beauty. I don't know if these retired or not. I cannot remember. So sorry. So we've got one here. We always like to do a triangle. We put them in odd numbers, a grouping of 3, a grouping of 5. It's just visually more interest. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take another big one. Put it right here, and then take a small one and put it right up here. I'm just using the center of the flowers that were already a gold. The crumb cake kind of reminds me of the gold. So, and that completes our card, guys. So let me bring out the other cards that I have made using this beautiful paper. And you guys can let me know what you think. Do we like the light green on top of the old olive, the greeny apple on top of the old olive, or do we like it the other way? Do we like the little flowered paper instead of the gold paper? What are your thoughts? Okay, I have several of these other cards, so let me put those kind of to the top. Here's another fun fold, but instead of the 2 pieces, it just has the 1 piece. This is using the Happy Birthday. It's an old stamp set. Again, I pulled from my stash. Did some watercoloring. What is the name of that stamp set? Hold on just one moment and I can tell you. I put it up and now I need it. It is called Happiness Abounds. You guys will remember this. It came out with some beautiful designer series paper. So I've also used that same stamp set on this card. This one tucks in like this. Just a little fun fold. I did the happy birthday again from that same stamp set. Here's a Happy Mother's Day card. Little pop-up. Did two versions of this. If Friends Were Flowers, I'd Pick You. That's from the Sunshine and Tulips stamp set that we just finished using. This is a tri-fold flip-flap card. So there's one in Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. And then here is one in Petal Pink and Fresh Freesia. This is using the other sentiment from that same Sunshine and Tulips, Sending a Garden of Love. Here's a little fold over. Again, that same stamp from Happiness Abounds. Here was an embossing folder that I used. I can't remember the name of that embossing folder, but again, retired. I thought all the flowers played nicely together. Again, the Petal Pink, the Calypso Coral. Here's another version of the same card. Again, using that other sentiment, Sending a Garden of Love. This one, however, uses Petal Pink and Fresh Freesia, and this one has 3 layers right here, whereas this one only has 2. So I changed it up just a little bit. I couldn't decide. I really didn't want to cover up this beautiful designer series paper, but I don't know. You tell me. What are your thoughts? Do you like the smaller image and more of the designer series paper, or do you like the bigger sentiment focal point? Here was a very pretty happy birthday, just a very easy. Did some heat embossing on this to match the gold ribbon. Here was a happy anniversary. I did pull in some of our gold paper back here. You can see a little bitty piece of it, and I did gut that. So just FYI, if you're using some very nice paper that cost a lot, you don't have to have a whole piece of that back behind this designer series paper. This is just a little border, and the inside of that gold piece is gone, because no one's going to know the difference. You can't tell. Way to save paper. Here is a very pretty fun fold. This does look very similar to this, but I've got 2 big flowers on this and a small one. But this one opens up like this, and then like this. Cute, right? And then we have this one right here. Again, I did pull in some of that Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon. I shopped my stash. I've got some different embellishments on this one. I don't remember what those are. Sparkling dots maybe in the Fresh Freesia color. And see, I did use this piece, this busy floral print, but I thought it tied in really nice. So this one is a pop twist card. Opens up like that. It's fun and cute. And then last but not least, and you've seen this card because I shared this on my Easter card making. I think that was the series we did in February. But I've used this little print right here on the back. And that is an old die right there with the circles, and I've embossed it with that embossing folder. Can't remember the name of it, but it came out with the Easter suite. Looked really cute. So those are all the cards that I've made using that paper. I think they turned out beautiful and gorgeous. If you have any questions, let me know. But thanks for joining me this weekend as I did 2 Facebook Lives back to back. One yesterday, one today. Come back next week. We will be doing another Mother's Day card. I think I'm going to be using the Gliding Garden Swing. I have not created the card yet, so we'll see how it comes together. I have something in my mind. The stamp set was put on the last chance list. It's gone, but the dies are still there as of yesterday. So I'm going to make a card using the dies, which to me was the best part of this bundle anyway. So we'll see what I come up with today and come back and see how that turns out. It'll be next Sunday. I have card club on Saturday. So have a great weekend and a great week, and we'll see you back here next Sunday at 1 o'clock. See you then. Bye-bye.